In this video, we are fixing the charging on this Huawei P20 Lite. If you're only interested how to disassemble this device, in the description of this video I will write down at what time you need to fast forward to. As you can see, it is a phone that does not charge its battery. And as we can see, the charging cable cannot be plugged in. It is clear that something is stuck in the charging port. I did not expect otherwise. And you probably think like me, pull the thing out and done. And that's what I tried. I tried the choppers first, but with these choppers I can't get a good grip. This thing that peeks out, whatever it is, and more or less we all know what it is stuck. So let's try with pliers. So I can't even grab it with them pliers because it doesn't protrude enough. And since it didn't really show any signs of giving up, let's crowbar it a little with this tool. Does not look promising. Let's try with this slightly different choppers, with a thinner blade. Maybe I can get a better grip with it. Yes, with this I can hold it better, but it doesn't move. Let's do some crowbarring again. Now slowly despair is beginning to strike. So I'm looking for all the metal tools I have to try with. But it doesn't seem to me that I can slip anything into the groove to drive out what is stuck. And let's acknowledge what is stuck. It's a USB-C connector from an USB charging cable. But the question is, what is holding it like this? Because now I'm alternately switching tools and trying to pull this out. This could be a compilation of attempts how to pull a USB connector. And here's what it looks like up close. And I think it's clear that the big guns have to come out. I turn on the heat gun at some 70 to 80 degrees Celsius and I start heating the back of the housing. And then I remembered that I should pull out the SIM card tray and continue to heat. I heat until I estimate that the back side has warmed up enough, that the glue had weakened. Now a little splash of magic liquid to help make the glue come off more easily. And I keep warming up. Now that I think warmed up enough, I attach the suction cup. I tense the back glass slightly to bend it so it gets a little bit separated, just enough to tuck in this metal disassembly tool. Then I thread this metal around between the case and the rear glass, move it back and forth. After I have detached the lower part of the back glass enough, I take off the suction cup and I continue with the metal tool. When I'm sure the glue no longer holds the back glass to the housing, I slowly and carefully lift the lower side of the back glass up and pay attention to the fingerprint sensor located on the rear glass. The next thing I do is to take off this little plate under which the secondary PCB connector and the fingerprint sensor flex cable connector are hidden. I unscrew the screws and I take off the plate. I unplug the connectors, then unscrew the screw cap under which the display connector and probably touchscreen is hidden. I take off the plate and unplug the connectors. Now I'm unscrewing the screw from the plastic that contains the speaker and probably the antennas. I take off the plastic. Now I'm taking a look at the USB-C connector. Then I take off this flex cable so it's not in my way. And I remember the orientation of the flex cable to return it to its original position later. I unplug the antenna coax cable from the sub-PCB. Now I want to remove or peel off the secondary PCB to move it out of my way and to free the USB port. But first I remove this rubber from the USB-C connector. And since I'm here, let's try my luck with some tool. But it doesn't move, as if it were cemented. But the good old method of the smarter gives in shows first results. The connector moved slightly. I take the chops to tire the connector some more, and then the pliers in the offensive. And I pull, and here we are. And now everything becomes clear. But now I have to remove the secondary PCB to estimate the scale of this catastrophic event. Fortunately, the secondary PCB and the USB-C connector on it did not suffer any consequences. But first I connect the display and the battery to check if the smartphone turns on and is working after this torture I gave him. It boots up. While the system is booting, I try plugging the USB-C cable into the USB-C connector. Seems I need to clean the USB connector a bit. I do this by using tweezers to remove any pieces of dirt. Let's check to see if the system has booted up. I start the shutdown unplug the battery, and turn to cleaning. I take all the dirt out of the USB-C connector. I light it with my phone to see if there was anything left in there. And I try to plug in the cable again. And this is one of the pieces of super glue I took out of the USB connector. Yes, you heard me right, super glue. But before I put the secondary PCB back in place, I have to remove the superglue from the hole in the housing. After several minutes of scrubbing, I tried to insert the USB connector again, and it fits. Great. I put back the secondary PCB, I connect the coax cable, then the flex cable, and connect everything as it was, and test the charging. And it's charging. After some time, I see that it has charged about 9%. I think that's enough. I put the rubber back on the USB connector, plastic with speaker and antennas, screw in the screws, power on to see if it's alive. I return the plate, screw in the screws. I return the second plate, screw in the screws. I turn off the phone again. I add a little double-sided tape. And then I realized I didn't connect the fingerprint sensor. I take off the plate, fasten the connector. I return the plate, take off the stickers. I put the rear glass back as it was. I line up the clamps and return the SIM card holder where it was. And that was it. If you like this video, like it. If not, then don't. If you have questions, ask them in the comments. Subscribe to this channel. If you haven't already, click that little bell to be notified when there is a new video on the channel. Hepek is also present on other social networks. Links in the description of this video. Thanks for watching. Until the next video.